Were they still doing crazy on their own basket? There we go.
Makes me feel old. No, not that old.
Oh, she did that book. She did that book.
The MIB book on their own basket.
Sarah did. It was really cool.
I would think someone is.
Good evening and welcome to the Manteno Village Board meeting for Monday, November 21st, 2022. I'd like to call the meeting to order, and if we could all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Boyce?
Here.
Martin? Dole?
Here.
Crockett?
Here.
Geske?
Here.
Phillips?
Here.
We have a quorum. Tonight, as always, we begin with our approval of our minutes. On our agenda, we have the minutes from our November 7th, 2022 board meeting, and also from our November 7th TIF Joint Review Board meeting. Both sets of minutes have been included in your packet, and hopefully everyone has had the opportunity to review them. Are there any changes, additions, deletions, corrections? If not, I would take a motion to approve both sets of minutes.
I make the motion.
We have a motion by Phillips,
I'll second.
second by Dole. Roll call.
Phillips?
Yes.
Dole?
Yes.
Boyce?
Yes.
Crockett?
Abstain.
Geske?
Yes.
Motion carries. Public participation, because we don't have anyone here. You haven't received anything, Chris, have you?
We have
Okay.
not.
Okay, village president's report. One item that on my report tonight, we are in the process or have already applied for a grant through the ComEd, and one of the requirements in order to qualify for this grant, it's a Northern Illinois grant from that ComEd's in ComEd's service territory. But one of the things that we have to apply for in order to do this is we have to have a resolution endorsing the Metropolitan Mayor's Caucus Greenest Region Compact. The proclamation has been included in everyone's packet, and basically it is just to verify that we support the green, well, I can read it. Endorsing the Metropolitan Mayor's Caucus Greenest Region Compact. Whereas the Metropolitan Mayor's Caucus provides a forum for the chief elected officials of the Chicago region to develop consensus and act on common public policy issues and multi-jurisdictional challenges. And whereas the Metropolitan Mayor's Caucus participating mayors and their communities have a history of environmental stewardship from energy efficiency, water conservation, urban forestry, and participation in clean air counts. And whereas it's important for the mayors and local governments throughout the United States to take leadership roles to advance sustainability both in their own communities and in concert with regional, national, and global initiatives. And whereas the Metropolitan Mayor's Caucus created the Greenest Region Compact to address environmental sustainability issues of global importance at the local level. And whereas the Greenest Region Compact, an update to the original pledge and sometimes referred to as the Greenest Region Compact 2, is built on important environmental initiatives already underway in communities in partnership with many nonprofit, state, regional, and national organizations. And whereas the Greenest Region Compact synthesizes sustainability goals already adopted by leading communities in the region, and these consensus goals align with common regional, state, national, and global objectives. And whereas the Greenest Region Compact offers a companion framework to guide communities of all sizes and strengths to assess their current efforts, develop a sustainability plan suited to local priorities, and will offer resources to help them succeed. And whereas the consensus goals of the Greenest Region Compact will guide coordinated efforts toward the enhanced quality of life for residents, protection and stewardship of the environment, and sustainable economic vitality. Now therefore be it resolved that the Village of Manteno endorses the Greenest Region Compact proposed by the Metropolitan Mayor's Caucus and agrees to work to achieve them both in their own communities and in collaboration throughout the region. So basically it's just a proclamation endorsing that compact, and it makes us eligible to apply for funds through the ComEd grant program. And I believe that is on the agenda to be voted on
Could you repeat that?
later on. Yeah. Yeah, it's on the agenda to be voted on in the consent agenda, so we don't need to do anything with it now. But again, like I say, we want to apply for some of this, the funding through ComEd, and that was one of the requirements. That it doesn't bind us to anything particular, but it just gives us the ability to apply for some grant money through ComEd. The only other item I have is I believe this is our last meeting before we have the Santa event that's coming up. That is coming up on Saturday, December 3rd. Sarah, I know, has sent out, to, the coloring contest to home with all the children through the Manteno School District. So we encourage everybody that's eligible to, enter the coloring contest that night at 5:15 or 5:30, I believe. We have the lighting of Main Street. Some of the things have been changed a little bit. We're starting it a little bit earlier to have some daylight when Santa's going to have a little parade down Main Street, and then Santa will be at the Square on 2nd during the course of the afternoon. I know she has carolers that will be going through town singing a lot of different activities on that afternoon. And the culmination of that will be the lighting of the Main Street with all the trees, the Christmas tree, and the buildings on Main Street that are owned by the village. So hopefully we have nice weather and that we get a good crowd as we always have in the past. Village Administrator's report, Mr. Rock.
Thank you, Mayor. I have nothing this evening.
Okay, committee reports, Public Works and Utilities, Mr. Boyce.
I have a committee meeting on 11/29 of 2022 at 7 a.m. We switched it up, so it's a little bit later in the month, but that's all I got. Thank you.
Okay. Properties and Recreation, Mr. Martin is not here tonight. He has nothing on his agenda, so we'll go to Public Safety and Health, Mrs. Dole.
Thank you, Mayor. I don't have any action items on the agenda tonight either. My next public safety meeting is December 14th at 7 a.m. in the Village Boardroom. My tip for the weekend, on Wednesday the 23rd, local law enforcement as well as local businesses and residents are turning out to support injured Bradley police officer Tyler Bailey. Officer Bailey is being released from the hospital, and a parade of police cars will be escorting him home from Chicago. If you'd like to be a part of this event, our local Ace Hardware is planning to have a group at their store as the parade rolls by at approximately 2:20, and that's on this Wednesday. So at 2:20 p.m., if you want to be a part of it, be over at the Ace Hardware and show up and
And I think you
I
can
think
be
you can line all around.
anywhere lying along
Yeah.
50. I think,
Right,
Ace
right.
is one spot where people could probably park, but I know that I saw something earlier today where the Legion is also going to have something, I believe, over at right at the intersection of 3rd and Route 50, right by where the Village Hall is. So, I mean, I think the idea is to line as much of Route 50 as we can.
I know last time they had the servicemen come.
Right.
But they got off at
57.
57 and came this way. Are they coming down?
They're coming from Peatone.
They're coming from Peatone
Yeah.
too then? Okay.
Right.
We plan on having a big thing at Taylor.
Taylor
Oh, yeah.
Ford?
Yeah,
okay.
this-
So I think
We got a
anybody
big-
that wants to
big-
go anywhere on Route 50 would be appreciated. It's been almost a year that,
Right.
this officer has been going through all the rehab, so I think it'd be a great honor, and we'd really like to show, Manteno, to showcase as much as we can to get as many people out there as possible. So, Chief, I assume that our department is participating in the,
Yeah, we'll have squad cars come all the way from Chicago.
and then doing traffic control here then too. Okay. Okay, thank you, Mrs. Dole. That's all you have?
Yes.
So thank you. Planning and zoning, Mr. Crockett.
Thank you, Mayor. I have one item on my agenda. It's Resolution 22-11, which is a resolution authorizing a reduction of warranty letter of credit for Eagles Landing 5th Edition. The village accepted the subdivision improvements for Eagle Landing's 5th Edition on November 16th of 2020, at which time the 2-year warranty period began. Now that the warranty period is expired and there are no outstanding issues with the development, the village is releasing the warranty letter of credit. Ryan or Chris, either one of you have a comment on that?
I do not.
All right, then our next Planning and Zoning Committee meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, November the 29th at 7 a.m. here in the Village Boardroom. And the next Planning Commission meeting is scheduled for December 13th, 6 p.m. also here in the Village Boardroom. And that is it for this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Crockett. Do we have anything for the planning commission as of yet for that date?
We'll know tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow's the last day.
deadline.
Yep.
Okay.
I have a possible agenda item.
Okay, thank you. Finance, Mr. Geske.
Thank you, Mayor. I have Resolution 2209, a resolution of the Village of Manteno for the preliminary determination of rate for 2022 tax levy. We discussed this at the last Finance Committee meeting, and the tax levy for this year is 1.75%. I also have payment of bills in the amount of $439,971.03, none of which are TIF bills, and we've had no bills paid between board cycle. Our next Finance Committee meeting is scheduled for December 14th at 7 a.m. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Geske. General Government, Mr. Phillips.
I have nothing tonight, Mayor.
Okay, so the items we'll be voting on tonight on the consent agenda are as follows. Under old business, we have nothing. Under new business, we have Resolution 2209, a resolution of the Village of Manteno for the preliminary determination of rate for the 2022 tax levy. Item number 2 is Resolution 2210, a resolution endorsing the Metropolitan Mayor's Caucasus Greenest Region Compact. Item number 3 is Resolution 2211, a resolution authorizing a reduction of warranty letter of credit for Eagles Landing 5th edition, and payment of the bills in the amount of $439,971.03, which there are no TIF bills. Are there any items on the consent agenda that need to be voted on individually? Seeing none, I would accept the motion to take a single roll call vote on the question of passage of the agenda items as read.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Crockett,
Second?
second by Dole. Roll call.
Crockett.
Yes.
Dole.
Yes.
Boyce.
Yes.
Geske.
Yes.
Phillips.
Yes.
Motion carries. I accept the motion to approve by unanimous vote the ordinances, resolutions, motions, and orders contained in the consent agenda as read.
So moved.
Motion by Geske,
Second?
second by Dole. Roll call.
Geske.
Yes.
Dole.
Yes.
Boyce.
Yes.
Crockett.
Yes.
Phillips.
Yes.
Motion carries. Tonight, you want to comment anything, Mr. Boyce?
I just hope everyone comes out and supports our Christmas event. It's a lot of hard work by Jimmy and his public works guys and Sarah and everybody, so hope everybody supports that, and hopefully everyone's out for that parade too, with them coming through town. It's one of our locals, so that's all I got.
Thank you, Mr. Boyce. Mrs. Dole?
Same things Jim said. I'll also have a happy Thanksgiving.
Mr. Crockett?
Yes, same as trustee Boyce, and everybody have a very happy Thanksgiving.
Mr. Geske?
Same thing. Just a reminder that for those going Christmas shopping on Black Friday, tax rebate checks should be going out first week of
Well,
December.
I was going to just say something. Say
Spend
something about
locally,
that.
buy a lot.
The rebate checks have been printed. They're going to be mailed out the first week in December. Included in the rebate check is going to be an explanation, just a short letter from me, explaining how this happened to come about, and talking a little bit about some of the other projects in Manteno or in the village, and some of the the financial situations that the condition that we are in. Also, there's going to be a reminder for people to the hometown hero banners have been taken down for this year. Some of them have been expired. Some of them will be going up next year. But about half of them, the 2-year program for them is up. People can sign up and renew for another 2-year program next year, but they'll have to come in and fill out the paperwork. So there'll be a reminder in the letter about that, so that can be done at any time. But we'd like to get it done as soon as possible, so we can figure out where all these banners are going to be at and know how many we're going to have. And also included in the letter will be the recycle dates for calendar year 2023 that people can stick onto their garbage can. It's going to be the same system as in other years where they recycle a couple times a month, and people are always wondering what the dates are. So so these stickers have worked out really well. If you don't get one in the mail for one reason, they will be available at the local banks and drive-up windows things too. So those are coming out. Chris, those are going out. Do you know what date? The letter?
I would say probably on the first Monday.
First Monday of December, which would be the 5th or whatever. December 5th.
Yep.
So people should have their checks by the next day or following day. So they say what is there, 1,550 of them or something?
1537, I think, something like that.
So when you get a letter or get an envelope and it has the Village of Manteno logo on it, it's not it's not junk mail. Open it, because that's going to contain the check. So if you buy something on Black Friday, you should have the money by the time the credit card comes due.
Yes.
Mr. Phillips?
I have nothing tonight. I'm wishing everybody a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. The only other item I have is, we've been working on this facility for, a long time, all year. But the Public Works facility, we've been planning it for several years, bought property a year or two ago, went through the design phase, and the building is being constructed now, and it has been under construction for a long time. But now that there's steel in the air and the sides of the building are going up, we're getting a lot of calls from people wanting to know, what's that building going up on the north side of, town? And that is the new Public Works facility. The concession stand was built at Legacy Park last year. That's a new building on the north side. Just a little bit farther north and across the street is the Public Works facility. Now, it's a long ways from being complete. It probably won't be done till midsummer or so of next year. But that is what the facility is going up in the air on the north side of town. Also, Chris, what's the start date for the people to be working at the police department?
We're supposed to start on Monday.
The coming Monday? So you'll see activity at the new location for the police department right at County Highway 9 and Marquette Place, or Marquette Drive. There'll be people coming and going from there. And the target date for that is what, probably sometime in June or July?
Probably, it's supposed to be the end of May.
End of May, okay. So there'll be activity going on there. So some of those things will be talked about in the letter that you get, and let you kind of know that we're, how the tax rebate came about, and we hope to be able to continue that for, a period of time. So I have nothing further. I'd accept the motion to adjourn.
I make the motion.
Motion by Phillips.
I'll second.
Second by Crockett. Roll call.
Phillips.
Yes.
Crockett.
Yes.
Boyce.
Yes.
Dole.
Yes.
And Geske.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you very much for coming and for watching.